In the dense jungles of Vietnam, where the air was thick with tension and uncertainty, one mission pushed soldiers to their limits. It wasn't just a battle, it was a test of endurance, strategy, and sheer willpower. Troops faced not only the enemy, but also the unforgiving environment, booby traps, brutal weather, and the haunting fear of the unknown. As the days turned into weeks, every moment felt like a lifetime. What drove them to carry on through such chaos? You might think you know the answer, but the true story is even more shocking. Stick around, because what happened next will change everything you thought you knew about this harrowing chapter in history. Detailed planning and precision. The Son Tay Raid wasn't just another military operation. It was the result of months of meticulous planning and precision. Before the elite team of Green Berets ever set foot in Vietnam, they had rehearsed the mission over 170 times. Every single detail had to be perfect. The U.S. military constructed a full-scale replica of the Son Tay prison in Florida, allowing the raiders to practice every step as if it were the real deal. Satellite imagery and intelligence played a massive role in the planning. The U.S. gathered detailed images of the prison and surrounding areas, studying every inch to understand the terrain, guard placements, and potential escape routes. They even learned the timing of enemy patrols, ensuring they could sneak in undetected. They used CIA reports and information from escaped POWs to gather specifics on the prison layout. Knowing where to strike, where the prisoners might be, and where the guards would likely stand was essential. Everything was rehearsed down to the second. For example, one team, codenamed Blue Boy, would land directly inside the prison's courtyard. Incredibly, their helicopter was to land in such a small space that its rotor blades would be mere feet from the prison walls. Yet after practicing this over and over again, the pilots were confident they could do it safely. Their commitment to precision showed the expertise of the special forces involved. Although the raid didn't recover any POWs, it's still regarded as a flawless execution of military planning, an operation that showcased the highest level of skill and strategy. Special operations, teams, and strategy. The success of the Son Tay Raid depended on the coordinated efforts of 3 special operations teams, each with a highly specific role: Blue Boy, Greenleaf, and Redwine. Each team was designed to handle a critical part of the mission, highlighting the intricate strategy and precision required to pull off such a high-stakes raid. Blue Boy was the assault team with perhaps the most daring mission. Their task was to land directly inside the prison courtyard in a helicopter, a move that involved extreme piloting precision. Their job was to neutralize the guards as quickly as possible and secure the courtyard, allowing the other teams to enter. They were the first to step into enemy territory, and timing was everything. Even a slight delay could have jeopardized the entire mission. Despite the challenge, they executed the landing with astonishing accuracy, using their rehearsals to perfection. Greenleaf was assigned to land just outside the prison. Their primary mission was to establish a defensive perimeter, neutralizing any guards or enemy forces attempting to reinforce the prison. This team needed to prevent any external threats from interfering with the rescue operation. They secured the surrounding area with speed and efficiency, ensuring that no one could come to the prison's defense. Redwine, the third team, had arguably the most emotional task: finding and rescuing the POWs. Their goal was to breach the cells, locate the prisoners, and extract them safely. They moved swiftly through the prison's interior, relying on precise intelligence and detailed floor plans. The strategy hinged on their ability to locate the POWs quickly while working in coordination with Blue Boy and Greenleaf. The entire operation required flawless synchronization. Any breakdown in communication or timing could have led to a disaster, but the raid teams had drilled together so extensively that they moved like a well-oiled machine. Though they didn't find any POWs, the raid's execution was nearly flawless, a testament to the professionalism and bravery of these special operations teams. Unexpected outcome in empty prison. The Son Tay Raid took an unexpected turn the moment the assault teams breached the prison walls and found nothing. The POWs, whom they had trained so hard to rescue, were gone. Unknown to the raiders, the North Vietnamese had relocated the prisoners months earlier to another camp due to flooding concerns. This discovery was a huge shock to the teams, especially after all the meticulous planning and rehearsals. Imagine the emotional impact. These Special Forces operators had spent months preparing for this mission, rehearsing every scenario, all to find an empty prison. But despite the absence of the POWs, the raid wasn't considered a failure. In fact, it was seen as a success in many ways. The raid demonstrated the capabilities and precision of U.S. Special Forces. Not a single American was killed or captured during the mission, and the raiders had neutralized a significant number of enemy guards without any major setbacks. The operation also sent a clear message to North Vietnam. The U.S. military was willing to go to extraordinary lengths to rescue its soldiers, even deep within enemy territory. Tactically, it boosted the morale of U.S. forces and reassured POWs across the country that they were not forgotten. The raid also forced the North Vietnamese to consolidate prisoners into larger, more secure camps, which inadvertently improved conditions for the POWs by giving them better food and medical care. So while the primary goal wasn't met, the Son Tay Raid became a symbol of U.S. military resolve, proving that even in unexpected outcomes, success can be defined by the mission's execution and the morale it inspired. Strategic implications and legacy. The Son Tay Raid didn't just end with an empty prison. It left a lasting strategic impact that shaped the future of U.S. military operations. In the wake of the raid, the military recognized the value of precise, highly coordinated special operations. The raid highlighted both the strengths and areas of improvement for U.S. Special Forces, ultimately pushing the military to evolve its approach to elite unit training and execution. First, this raid showcased the necessity for rapid, highly specialized strike teams that could execute complex missions deep inside enemy territory. The Son Tay Raid's level of coordination and precision set a new standard for future missions, influencing the creation and further development of elite military units, like Delta Force and SEAL Team 6. These units were designed specifically for counterterrorism, hostage rescues, and high-risk missions that require specialized training and expertise. Another key takeaway from Son Tay was the importance of interagency collaboration. The raid was a joint effort between different branches of the military, involving intelligence, aviation, and ground forces. This collaboration laid the groundwork for more integrated operations, seen in future missions like Operation Eagle Claw in Iran or the takedown of Osama bin Laden decades later. Strategically, the raid also sent a clear message to both the North Vietnamese and U.S. military leadership. Even though no POWs were rescued, the operation's boldness demonstrated that America was willing to take daring risks to protect its soldiers, which in turn pressured enemy forces to consolidate their camps and improve conditions for prisoners. In the years following Son Tay, lessons from the raid were integrated into special operations planning, ensuring that future missions were even more flexible, adaptable, and equipped with real-time intelligence. Today, Son Tay remains a cornerstone in the history of U.S. Special Forces, proving that even in missions with unexpected outcomes, the legacy can reshape military doctrine for years to come. Public reaction and propaganda. The public reaction to the Son Tay Raid was a mix of pride and disappointment. In the U.S., many saw it as a bold and daring attempt to rescue American POWs, showcasing the bravery of U.S. Special Forces. Even though no prisoners were found, the operation was hailed as a tactical success in terms of execution. The raid gave a significant morale boost to the military and reinforced the U.S. government's commitment to bringing its soldiers home. Major media outlets covered the raid extensively, emphasizing the precision and bravery of the U.S. forces involved. However, the fact that the POWs had been moved months earlier was a bitter blow, leading to questions about intelligence failures and whether the mission could have been better planned. Still, the American public largely supported the effort, viewing it as a reflection of the nation's resolve. On the other hand, in North Vietnam, the raid became a tool for propaganda. The North Vietnamese government wasted no time portraying the operation as a complete failure, emphasizing that the U.S. had spent months planning and carrying out an assault on an empty prison. Their message was clear: despite America's best efforts, they had outsmarted the U.S. military. This propaganda was aimed not just at their domestic audience, but also at their international allies, reinforcing the image of North Vietnam's resilience against a global superpower. Despite these contrasting narratives, the Son Tay Raid remains an important chapter in military history, symbolizing the risks and complexities of wartime operations. If you're fascinated by daring military operations and want to dive deeper into such remarkable stories, make sure to subscribe for more.